you tired of drinking kombucha and kefir or kefir every single day for your health and want to add a new super healthy drink to your diet? Well, I have that drink for you today. That drink is Amazake. Amazake literally translates to sweet alcohol or sweet sake or sweet sake, as some of my American friends pronounce it. Amazake is essentially a sweet rice drink. That's all it is. And it's not sweet because you add sweetener to it. It can be made with white or brown rice, and it is fermented with a fungus called Aspergillus oryzae, or let's just call it Koji. Because when you Google this to find this at your supermarket or buy it on Amazon or my website, you will just need to type in 4 letters, Koji. This fungus is also used to ferment natto, which is another superfood by the Japanese, and even used in miso. So I think we're seeing a connection here. And by the way, it is gluten-free because it's made with rice. It is dairy-free. It is vegan. It's vegetarian. It is a lot of things, etc., etc. There are 4 reasons you should be drinking Amazake every single day like I do. I promise, I drink this every day because I'm kind of obsessed with it right now. It's like really, really good. Reason number 1, it is rich in a lot of nutrients. Like a lot of nutrients. Like, forget your vitamins and your vitamin drinks. This can be your new vitamin drink. Amazake is rich in thiamine, niacin, B vitamins, selenium, manganese, magnesium, phosphorus, B1, B2, B6, all the B vitamins I just mentioned, folic acid, dietary fiber, amino acids, the list goes on and on and on. Did you know this drink is nicknamed the drinkable IV? That's how healthy it is. Drinkable IV, yes, which means it's also the perfect hangover cure. That's wild. Number 2, it is great for concentration and fatigue. That is something I've been plagued with a lot, even though I get a lot of sleep. So I know that there's something out of balance with me. And ever since drinking Amazake every single day, I'm feeling a lot better. And I'm fasting, and it's helping my fasting vastly. Amazake is rich in glucose, which is very important for your brain to pick up and start moving and going. It also keeps blood glucose levels very optimal, very, very good. So if you have diabetes, this drink is actually highly recommended for you. Number 3, for someone like me with acne, this drink is great. I also have acne quite often, mostly due to lactose intolerance and stress. I have a lot of stress. But Amazake is full of acids and antioxidants and many other vitamins and helpful components that are really, really good for your skin. Also, because it has lots of antioxidants, it is anti-aging. It has a lot of anti-aging properties. So something really good is going on here. And number 4, the number 1 reason I started drinking Amazake, and I always leave the best for last, is that it helps with digestion. I have a very weak stomach, like a very embarrassingly weak stomach, and my digestive system cannot handle a lot of things, but Amazake has helped that immensely. It is rich in dietary fiber, and it helps your bowel movements, which is very important. Maybe a little uncomfortable to talk about, but it is important. And it is a great source of probiotics. That's extremely important. I don't know if you've been hearing lately, but a lot of people are finding that their gut flora is out of balance. And when that's out of balance, there's a lot of bad symptoms that come about. Scientists are finally now realizing that the gut flora is super, super important, and it has a large connection to many diseases and fatigue and a lot of problems people around you might have. I know my gut flora is out of whack, especially growing up in America and eating the very bad food that I did, like TV dinners and fast food and going out to eat a lot and processed foods. I know my gut flora is out of whack, and that's why my digestive system is so weak. So that's why I'm making an effort to drink things like Amazake. This also, maybe goes without saying, is that it helps you with your weight. That when you have a better digestive system and better bowel movements and better gut flora, it will help you maintain a healthy weight, and it might help you lose weight as well. So, a rule of thumb here, if you didn't listen to any of those 4 things, is that fermented foods are super, super good for you, and you should be drinking and eating fermented foods whenever you can, and Amazake is one of the best fermented drinks / foods that you could be consuming. It can be made with or without alcohol, but we're trying to be super healthy today, so we're going to do it without. Welcome to my tiny Japanese kitchen and my tiny Japanese fridge. I want to show you the Amazake that I've been buying at the local supermarket because I'm a little lazy. It comes in this very tiny kid-sized carton, but it is Amazake. I had been buying these continuously because I was scared to make Amazake in my kitchen until my sensei told me that it is very easy, it's healthier, it doesn't have preservatives, and it's so, you could do it in your kitchen, Christal, why don't you just do it? And I was like, you know what, I should probably stop being lazy. So this is me enjoying probably one of my last cartons of Amazake that I buy from the supermarket. Now you're gonna need 3 ingredients. The first one being dry koji, because dry koji is probably what you have access to. You can buy it on Amazon or my website. We're gonna need 200 grams this time. A thermometer is very, very important. I can't stress how important having a thermometer during this process is. You're gonna need to check the temperature. You need 1 cup of rice, that's it. Just 1 cup of regular rice, it can be white or brown. 360 milliliters of water to cook the rice in the rice cooker. And a cloth that you can get wet and keep on top of your rice cooker. First is the easy part, is just wash and cook your rice like you usually would. Add 360 milliliters of water to this 1 cup of rice because you want it to be a little goopier than you typically would cook your rice at. And cook your rice as usual. And realize that the outside of your rice cooker is very dirty and that you need to wipe it down. And the next part is to measure exactly 200 grams of dry koji. This is what the fungus looks like. Now, when I say the word fungus, people might think that it smells bad or looks bad or is disgusting, but it's not. If you touch it and smell it, it has a very light wheat-like aroma, and it just feels like little pieces of hard grain. Now that you've cleaned your rice cooker on the outside because you were embarrassed, you see that your cup of rice is finished. And this is what it looks like. It's like a little more like mochi-like, because that's the setting I had it on, mochi mochi. And this is perfect. Next, you're gonna add an additional 360 milliliters of water very slowly. Add it very slowly and mix it as you go along because you wanna bring down the temperature very slowly. It's a lot easier to do when you don't have a camera in your left hand. Now, this is super important. You want to check the temperature and make sure it's between 55 degrees Celsius to 60 degrees Celsius. That is 130 degrees Fahrenheit to 140 degrees Fahrenheit. Why is this important? Because if you go over 60 degrees Celsius or 140 Fahrenheit, the koji will start dying. Now, not instantly. It will take a while, but the koji cannot handle high temperatures. So make sure that it is below 60 degrees Celsius, and it can range around the 55, but in between 55 and 60 is perfect. Once you add the koji, make sure to mix it very, very well. It's gonna look like this. The koji does not dissolve instantly. It's gonna look like this weird goopy mixture, but this is perfect. And lastly, get a wet cloth. I have completely dampened this cloth with water and put it on top of your rice cooker. Keep your rice cooker open and keep it on for 8 hours. This is how you maintain the temperature and you let the rice ferment very nicely with the koji. And finally, the Amazake is done and it looks beautiful. It looks like this. It looks kind of weird. It looks like this off-white color. The koji is dissolved. It's got a lot of like little bumps. It looks like the bumps, but that's the rice fermented from the koji. This is exactly what the amazake looks like. Now, it doesn't look the greatest, but I promise you it tastes good. And what do you do with it after? You need to refrigerate it. You have to refrigerate amazake. So what I have is 2 containers. This one is for food, and then the next one is for my drink. So because you can add amazake to food or drinks. If you want to only drink amazake, then what I suggest is putting in soy milk or whatever kind of drink like that you prefer, oat milk, any of the milks. And you can add flavoring. I've had ginger amazake, I've had different types of flavoring that you can add to amazake. Figure out which one you like the best. And then I do a separate one where I don't add anything to it because I'm going to use this to directly put it on top of vegetables and other food recipes. Now I am severely lactose intolerant, so ta-da! I have my soy milk, my Japanese healthy soy milk that I add to my amazake. Now keep in mind that if you keep the rice pieces in your amazake, they're gonna fall to the bottom, so shake it every time you drink it. Now, if you hate those little rice pieces as you drink or eat amazake, you can put it into a mixer and pulverize it so it'll be smooth, and that you won't have that weird stuck little rice pieces every time you drink it, because some people don't like that feeling in their mouth, and that's perfectly fine. And lastly, the very last step is to pour it into your Bichon Frise cup because you want to buy a Bichon Frise, but you can't because you live in a tiny Japanese apartment. So you can only dream about it with little Bichon Frise themed accessories and tableware and cups, etc., etc. One day.